Hi, welcome to my 6-cup stack circle pan tutorial. I've created 3 projects from just one pan. You can do a variety of projects, but I've gone for a naked cake decorated with some fruit. Then I've done an ice version with a flower, and then I've done like a large upside down cupcake. So let's get started with the naked fruit cake. We're going to start with the baking part first. So you'll need your 6-cup stack circle pan and an ice cream scoop, and you will just use a simple cake batter mixture in the flavour of your choice. Each naked mini cake requires 3 of the stacked circle pancakes. Every oven bakes a cake differently, so sometimes it's worth practicing in advance the quantities that you need. The easiest way to measure your quantities is by using an ice cream scoop. You can see I've done this here in the photo. Once the cakes have baked, turn them out onto a cooling rack. Once they're cool, we can start to assemble them together. The first thing we're going to do is turn each of them over, and we're going to level the bottom using a bread knife. Then we're going to move on and cut each mini cake into 3 sections. Once we've done that, we can stack them together. The next step is to put some filling between the layers. I've used raspberry jam and buttercream. You need to do this for every layer of the cake. The final step is to decorate your cake and the cake board. The tools I'm using are a flour sifter with some icing sugar, a non-stick mat, an offset spatula, a small rolling pin, then I've got a little cake drum, and I've got a ribbon to go around the edge, but of course that part of it is optional, and then I have some fresh fruits. I've added the fondant to my cake board, then I've put the ribbon round, and I've used my sifter just to dust a light sprinkling of icing sugar over the whole cake. The final touch is to add your fruits on the outside and give it a little dusting again of icing sugar. That's your mini naked cake complete. We're now going to make our mini stacked cupcake. Just like we did before, we're going to use a simple cake batter mixture, and we're going to divide it between each section in your pan. The equipment we're going to be using is the flour sifter with the icing sugar inside, a 1M Wilton piping nozzle, and we're also going to be using a disposable piping bag, a teaspoon, buttercream and some jam, and of course a decoration of your choice. Just like we did before, we're going to turn all the cakes out once they're cooked, put them on a cooling rack and allow them to cool. Once they're cool, turn them over, and then we're going to level off the bottom of each cake. Again, we're going to do this using a bread knife. Turn your cake over, and then using your teaspoon, we're going to take out a scoop of sponge out of the top. In this, we're going to place some raspberry jam, and then on top I'm going to do a buttercream swirl, and then just place my little flower decoration that I made earlier. I've used the PME daisy cutter. I've dusted mine with a little icing sugar at the end, and that's our stacked circle cupcake complete. For our third and final project, we're going to make a little mini iced cake. I also made some decorations using the PME blossom cutter, and I've made a hand moulded rose on top, which you can find out how to make in my other videos. Again, we're using a simple cake batter mixture of your choice, and what I've also done is baked 3 of the mini cupcakes, just as we did in the first project. Just as we did before, bake your cakes, put them on a cooling rack, allow them to cool, turn them over and trim the bottom so they're nice and level with a bread knife. Then cut each cake into 3 sections. We're now going to decorate our cake. So the tools you're going to need is a little mini cake board for it to stand on with a pink ribbon to go around it, a non-stick small rolling pin, you've got a cake smoother, we've got a fondant trimmer, we've got a palette knife, the flour sifter, but we have some icing sugar in it, and we've got our non-stick mats. The first thing we're going to do is to put some jam and some buttercream between each layer. Then we're going to go all around the outside of our mini cake with buttercream. This is to give the fondant something to stick to. Dust your work surface with a little icing sugar and then roll out your fondant. Once your fondant is nicely rolled out, check for any air bubbles and then go over with a smoother. Once the fondant is nice and smooth on top, you want to lift it completely over the top of your cake. Now you will need your hands just to make sure that each part of the fondant is touching all the way down the cake. Then you need to go around the whole of your cake using your cake smoother, making sure all the sides are nice and smooth. You don't want any finger marks showing. Cover your cake board with the remaining fondant. If you need to see how to do this, you can find a separate tutorial in my list of videos on my channel. The final step is to add your decorations and dress your cake with ribbons. Your 3-tier mini stacked cake is now complete. Perfect for a birthday celebration and really cute as a wedding favour. Thank you for watching my 6-cup stacked circle pan tutorial. I do hope you like what you've seen. If you would like to see more, then please subscribe to my channels or take a browse through my list of tutorials. Thank you for watching.